Hey guys, John Sensei here, and since the JET program application is open in the United States, I'm holding myself to make a video essentially every day to try to help people with their JET program applications. Today I want to talk about volunteering and how important it is to the JET program application process, but also how important it is for just like your career and your life. So who am I, and why would I want to talk about these things, and why do I think they're important? Well, my name is John Gale, and I'm a Japanese language instructor in the Nashville, Tennessee area. I know I don't look like it. I know I'm not Japanese, but I used to be an English teacher on JET in the JET program, and that instilled in me the love of teaching. And I went on to get a master's degree in Japanese, and I also worked as a JET program coordinator. And so JET is just generally something I believe in, and I believe that we can make the program better through having better participants who become better alumni. But first, that starts with better applicants, and that's why I'm trying to help people turn themselves into better people, to help them be more competitive in the application process, go on to be better JETs and better JET alumni. And like I said, today's topic is about volunteering and its importance to the JET program application. This was something I've wanted to do this video for a while, and my student kind of asked me for some more clarification on it. So I thought I'd dive in it for today's video. Now, how does volunteering relate to the JET program application directly? Well, it is in section 10 of the U.S. JET program application. Let's hop on over to the web browser and check out. This is the U.S. JET program application right here. This is a fake application I do every year. And under section 10, under achievements, you have honors and achievements. Under here, 19B, extracurricular volunteer activities. There we are. And right here is where you list extracurricular volunteer activities, and you can put up to 3 in the application. So for one thing, volunteering is important because it then gives you information to put in these blanks. And if that's the only reason you're volunteering, or if that's all you think that you'll get out of it, that is a very low surface level way to think about things. Volunteering in and of itself is important, and I'm not talking entirely about charity either, though that is important. It doesn't all have to be charity volunteering to get volunteer experience. So jumping back to the presentation, I wanted to share something with you from one of my anime convention panels. I do a career panel at whatever convention I go to, and this is a slide from that. And this is just general career advice, that there are things that you'll need to be successful in your career, and I'm going to get out of the way a little bit. And the first basic thing that everybody talks about, and I think we're pretty clear that you need to be successful in your career, is passion. And that passion has to come from you. So I hope that if you're applying for the JET program, I'll come back a little bit, if you're applying for the JET program, that you're already passionate about Japan, about English, about teaching, about working with people from other cultures, about traveling and living abroad, having different experiences. I'm going to assume that the passion is already there, wherever it came from. If it came from anime or some sort of international experience or whatever, we're just going to assume that passion is already there and is part of the reason that you're applying for the JET program. And I think it will come across in your application and your essay. But as one of my favorite books of all time by Cal Newport, a book called So Good They Can't Ignore You, makes very clear that as much as we get hyped up about what he calls the passion hypothesis in today's day and age, that really passion in and of itself is not enough. And if you want to be so good that the JET program cannot ignore you, you're going to need these other 2 things that I'm going to talk about in my slide. In addition to passion, next you'll need knowledge. And knowledge tends to come from classes, teachers, reading books, research. We live in the information age. It's really easy to get knowledge nowadays. And most JET applicants are currently in college or university to get this knowledge. And what a lot of college graduates are finding this past few generations is, they go to school and they get all this knowledge and they graduate, and then they have trouble finding career success later. And that may also be the struggle with JET applicants. They've gone to school, they've gotten a degree, they've gotten the knowledge, but they didn't get accepted for the JET interview or for the JET application, because there's one more element that you definitely need as a basics for career success, and that is skills. And skills only come from experience. You have to do something, and usually do it repeatedly and many times in order to build the skill. And this is where volunteering comes in and is so important, because if you volunteer, you are doing something and you are getting experience and you are building skills. Now you may think, oh, I volunteered for this event and all I did was carry some boxes. And, okay, I built my box carrying skills. It's not just that. Through interacting with those other volunteers and that organization, you're building your social skills, you're building your skills to take direction, to problem solve, and every day on JET is problem solving. It's problem solving with how to get around language barriers and cultural barriers. So there are other skills built through volunteering that you may not think about. And again, as the book So Good They Can't Ignore You, its subtitle points out why skills trump passion in the quest for work you love. And this skill level is what's hurting a lot of recent college graduates as they go out into the workforce, and it's also what's hurting a lot of JET applicants, is in the safety of school while gaining the knowledge, they also have not built a lot of skills. And again, this can go from teaching skills and technical skills to social skills. There's a wide range of skills that you can build through volunteering. So, back to the presentation. So what are some places that you can volunteer that are relevant to JET? I've listed up a few in my earlier videos, but I think in some cases it's pretty obvious. First, let me make clear, any volunteer experience is going to be good experience, whether it's charity, whether it's something like anime convention. Let's start there. Some people are kind of scared about the whole, oh, what if I like Japan because I started with anime thing. I'm going to talk about this in a lot of depth in a later video, but that was me. I went on to get a master's degree in Japanese, and anime was the beginning window. So I think, yes, anime conventions can be relevant volunteer experience. And at MTAC, the Middle Tennessee Anime Convention that I told you about in a previous video, my friend who's on staff, her entire purpose is to try to bring more traditional Japanese presentations and culture into the anime convention. And so maybe your local anime convention has that type of desire to bring more traditional Japanese culture, and you could help them with that. Also, I do a lot of volunteer work myself, just as me, as a JET alum. And I can tell you, any sort of Japan-related organization, any sort of anime convention, the Cherry Blossom festivals and the Japan festivals, the cultural festivals, any sister city organization, any Japan America Society, they're usually looking for volunteers. There's usually not enough volunteers to help them achieve their ideals at their event or within their office. So those I listed up also are great places to start. Festivals, Japan-related festivals. Again, where I live, I could probably drive 3 hours and hit 4 or more Japanese festivals in a year to volunteer at. Sister city organizations. If you live in a large metropolitan area like I do, like Nashville Sister Cities is part of the under the metro government, but I've met volunteers who work for them. I've volunteered myself for Hendersonville, Tennessee, sister city relationship with Japan. and they're always looking for volunteers to help with different events, even if it's just carrying boxes or helping to clean up. And Japan America Societies, here we're lucky to have a group. The Japan America Society of Tennessee, JAST, also has a young professionals group called JAST YP, JAST Young Professionals, and that's completely run by volunteers. My friend started it as a volunteer effort, and people come and go, and there's always a need for someone to take up those leadership positions as people leave, or to just do the grunt work sometimes. So we covered sister cities, Japan America Societies, Japan-related events, anime conventions, festivals, and then also that's all the Japan stuff. That hasn't even gotten into the teaching English or helping people from other cultures or working in international cultures. That hasn't even got into that. So I told a story of a jet who left last year, Stephen. I've told this story in a previous video, and the info session we did for the JET program. That video is also on my YouTube channel. But Stephen got rejected by JET the first time. He asked his professor, what can I do to get accepted? And one of those things was he started volunteering at a literacy council here in the Nashville area. A lot of college campuses need tutors for ESL, for foreign exchange students. Some churches and YMCAs and community organizations will need ESL tutors. And again, the only qualification is you need to be an English speaker. Sometimes they just really need people to help with that. So there are lots of those opportunities that are very specific for building your skills in teaching or Japan-related matters that would definitely be very good fits on this part of the application. Could go right in there. So you can have up to 3. I've listed like seven possible volunteer opportunities. If you're going to apply next year, or if you don't get accepted this year, that's a way you could spend that year, is going to different volunteer opportunities that will help you, again, put something in this blank, but also build your skills and your network. The network is another big thing because, again, the JET program application is not something that is achieved alone. You need people to help you review your application, read your essay for feedback, and you also need recommenders, of course, to write your recommendation letter. So I hope this has given you some insight on why volunteering is important, not just as bullet points to put in those blanks, but also building your character and making yourself a better person, which will make you more competitive for the JET program application. I hope all of you guys have been working on your applications, putting in that information on your essays. I hope your recommenders already have their recommendation request. You've sent them through the application portal. And that if you fall into the category that you need extra forms like FBI background checks and physicians forms, that you're already working on that. Today is October 22nd, 2018. The JET program application opened September 28th, 2018 in the United States. So we're almost at 1 month now. You should have essentially what I call the version 1.0 or even 1.1, 1.2 of your application packet ready. And if you do, then, and you live within traveling distance of the Nashville area, have we got something for you. Coming up this Saturday, October 27th, 2018 at 1 p.m. at the Tennessee Language Center. That's where I teach Japanese. We are going to hold the 2019 JET application workshop. Now let me tell you a little bit about this workshop. This is our second year doing it. Last year I think was a huge success. We had more than, I'd say, 15 people there, and at least 3 of them I know just from recognition left on the JET program this past summer. What we're going to do is we're going to answer your questions. By we, I mean JET alumni volunteers. Here we go. We're volunteering for this because we want to help you apply for the JET program. So JET alumni volunteers are going to be there to answer your questions. We can pull up the application portal and look at sections that you may not be clear on and discuss those as a group and hopefully provide some clarification into the application process and also the needs of the JET program. And then at the end of it, we're going to conclude with a peer review of each other's essays. The JET alumni are not allowed to read your essays, but the applicants can trade essays with each other, read them, and provide feedback, which is going to be really valuable because you need to have at least one, but as many people as you can reading your essay and providing you feedback on it. So I definitely hope if you're within the Middle Tennessee area, if you can travel to Nashville, I would highly encourage you to come to this workshop we're having this Saturday. And if there's anything you want me to talk about in these videos, just let me know. Leave a comment here in the video. Tweet your questions to me at Mr. John Sensei, and let's stay in touch that way. I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're having success with your JET program application, and I will see you later in another video. Bye for now.